Hello, and welcome to the Cole Klein's Philosophy Hour. This is episode 11, The Philosophy of Music, with my good friend King B. Welcome to the show, King B.
Thank you for having me, Cole.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's a pleasure.
I'm sure. So, King B here is the biggest, brightest, and best up and coming rapper on the Purdue West Lafayette campus. And he actually just released new music today. Isn't that right, King B?
Yes, I have a new song out now called Who It Is.
Who it is, streaming where?
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal if you're one of those people, and many more.
Everywhere where good music is to be had, King B is there, dropping sick beats. Um, let's continue. Um, King B, I'm not sure if you've heard, but there are actually whisperings of, quote, a grand musician bequeathed upon the Purdue class of 2027 who will go on to rival the legends of old and is also named after an insect. What do you think about this, King B?
Uh, I've only heard these rumors. Some there said they're gonna be a guy named Mantis. I don't know. I think I'm the guy though.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's begin with the interview and the philosophy. So, question number one, I'm starting off strong. What is music?
Ooh, okay, so this is a tough one. A lot of people think Playboy Cardi went back in time and created music. That's a theory that I've debunked. I think music is just good sounds in your ear that last for longer than like a couple seconds.
Can you elaborate on debunking Playboy Cardi that he made music?
Well, a lot of people are like, oh, Playboy Cardi went back in time and made music when in fact he did not.
In fact, you
In
made
fact, I
music.
made music.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So, there's some theories out there about what music actually is. Um, does it have to have like a degree of organized sound? Does there have to be some sort of
So,
tonality? Or
okay,
is there an aesthetic quality that
this is
has to be met for
this
it to
is
be
something I
music?
think about a lot as a musician.
Hmm.
Because I love hyperpop music. I love music that sounds crazy and just sounds what a lot of other people would call like shit.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to have any sort of organization or anything to it. I think there needs to be an idea behind it, and that idea can be like something stupid, like oh, fuck, I can't remember this ASAP Rock song about some fucking frog named Larry, and it's just that's the whole song. It's about a frog named Larry who saves a village or something like that,
Hmm.
and that's the whole concept. And I don't think there needs to be organization. There just needs to be an idea behind it.
Congrats, King V. You have uttered the first curse word on the Cole Klein's Philosophy Hour. Okay, question number two. What do you think of the idea that our conceptions of music and the very definition of music itself restricts our ability to express ourselves through sound?
Can you say that one more time?
What do you think of the idea that our conceptions of music and the very definition of music itself restrict our ability to express ourselves through sound?
I think I don't really think there's any restriction on that because you can make any sound mean anything if it's heard the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it depends on how you just make the song, and like you can express yourself, and it's like the this is gonna sound bad, but it's like the fixed versus growth mindset,
Oh,
to where
yeah.
you can only like you are restricted by the music only by the amount like you restrict yourself, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
I see. Okay, that's a very good answer. Okay. Do you think that it's a mistake to view music necessarily as an art? Like, to be more specific, do you think it would be useful to distinguish the medium of music from its artistic uses, just like we distinguish like language from literature and videos from film?
I don't really think so, because I think to some degree like national anthems and stuff, those are like their own thing, kind of like a language.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as far as everything else, even national anthems and stuff like that, there's an art behind it. There's a reason why people made each thing sound that way, or like why a certain chord is there, why a certain voice, why it's baritone or soprano, you know?
Yeah, it's all there to elicit like some certain ideas or
Some
emotions.
feeling that the creator wanted you to feel,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not something they wanted you to feel, but just you're feeling it, so it's art.
I see. Okay, this next song or this next question I might have gotten a little carried away. It's pretty long.
Okay.
Okay. Mu- Music is unique in the fact that songs can exist as a kind of ideal, detached or realized in reality. In more contemporary music, you could argue that the ideal is the studio recording reflecting the artist's intentions exactly, but in purely performative music, such as classical music, the ideal only exists as a part of our own collective imagination and is only realized in distinct instances. This complicates the connection between the ideal and the concrete instance. What are your thoughts on this relationship?
Okay. I'm gonna really need to dumb this one down. Okay. So you're saying, are you asking me the difference between recorded music and music that's performed live, and kind of what the feeling that's captured in both?
I'm more talking about like the ideal of a song that exists. Like, if I said, um, the ideal of like Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is like this idea that exists but can't really be realized in any one recording or any one like performance
Yeah.
versus the recording or performance thereof. Like, what is the relationship?
Hmm. I think that's an interesting question because I only ever listen to recorded music. Really, I don't ever go back and listen to classical music
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. So it's all like a perfect song to me is 3005 by Childish Gambino.
Okay.
And like there's no way you can get 3005 better than how Childish Gambino made it. And so I think that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that it depends on also the day the performers are having. Like there's so many factors that go into a performance, like to the specific Beethoven thing.
So if you were to go see Childish Gambino live and he performed 3005, do you think it would be possible for him to exceed like the ideal that you see in that recorded piece?
Yes, because not like Childish, but like an example is I went to see Lil Uzi one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say it wasn't perfect, but he did make some songs feel better than like I had listening to them actually. Like he did "What Do You Want" by Carnage featuring him, and he like counted down into the song,
Mm-hmm.
and that made the song feel so much cooler and so much more exciting, and then he performed. So it's like it depends on what the artist does to get that feeling live.
I see. So, like the act of performing doesn't necessarily corrupt the ideal or make it any better in itself, but it's about what the artist does with that performance that
Yeah.
um yeah. All right. Very nice. So, in my research, the most widely debated philosophical question I could find about the philosophy of music were all about emotion. So many adjectives are used to describe certain pieces of music, like happy, sad, angry, etc. But from an outside perspective, it doesn't make much sense how a collection of sounds, especially if there are no lyrics, can elicit an emotional response. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't really think that's true because like I mean sounds they just express a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and even if you have a song with a whole bunch of bright notes, a whole bunch of bright things, you can make it sound tragic. You can set it up in a way like you can make the progression of the melody or like the chord progression, you can make it tragic. It depends on how the person handling the music does it. Uh like and sure maybe we restrict it with emotions and stuff, but or maybe we're putting too many thoughts behind it with emotions, but I think it really depends on the and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You need to think about how what you're doing is different than what other people are doing. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
I see. So, what am I saying? um, okay, I'm just gonna move on. I kind of forgot what I was thinking. Do you think that this emotional response is linked to humans' general trend of assigning emotions to inanimate objects or
Oh yeah.
ideas? Like, kind of like saying blue is like a sad color, or is there something deeper going on?
So I do think it is kind of that, but I think there's something that that's just human about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's very similar to that and like how we Another example of giving not necessarily inhuman things, kind of humane things, but like talking to our dogs and stuff like that. It is kind of like that, and giving us a way to escape certain things. But I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like made for that, you know.
I
It's made
see.
to escape.
Okay, so if music is so effective at bringing out emotions in people, why do you think it is that people will seek out music that will bring out negative emotions like sadness?
Because when we're grieving, we don't know how to feel about things. So we try to find emotions of how we expect to feel, you
I
know?
see. So like it kind of encapsulates your current feeling and it's positive in a way that you can find something that can express the way you're
Yeah.
feeling at any given moment.
Granted, sometimes you can listen to like too much sad music,
Mm-hmm.
but that is also how, because like I listen to a lot of sad music, but I'm not necessarily a sad guy,
Yeah.
you know? It just depends on how you make yourself feel
Yeah,
about.
you can turn it into an outlet for negative emotions without letting it like overcome you with negative emotions.
Yeah.
Like that's similar to something I wrote down like in the Poetics by Aristotle. He argues about like ancient Greek tragedy. Uh, he wrote about an idea called catharsis, which is like people would go and seek out this um, tragic form of drama because it would allow them to purge all of their negative emotions without letting it like overcome them.
Hmm.
Okay, I have two more questions for you.
Okay, okay.
So, all animals with ears have the ability to hear music, but humans seem to be unique in their ability to understand music. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. That's an interesting question because that's more of a biology question. I mean, I think maybe if we notice animals and pay more attention to them, like especially birds,
Mm-hmm.
they're always singing, they're always calling, which is their own language. So we may use music one way, but they use sounds to communicate like that, you know?
Yeah, so just like how we can hear the birds and we can appreciate their call, but we can't necessarily understand what they're what
Communicating.
yeah, what they're saying on a deeper level.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay. Last question. Also related to the understanding of music. So some people seem to possess an even deeper understanding of music than others. What do you think this is a real phenomenon? Like do people understand on a deeper level or do everyone understand like in their own way?
I think everyone understands in their own way, but there are definitely objective ways to understand, and there are more subjective ways to understand. I think a lot of people think they have a great objective view, but they really just have a subjective view. But the objective view is more like the chords, the overall how it sounds, like mixing and mastering and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
then the subjective view is like what the music is, you know.
So like they're conflating their own opinions on the music with like reality or
Like
facts,
anyone
I
who
guess.
says classical music is better than rap or something like that, they they may know a lot about music, but they don't know a lot about like what music does, what like the culture of the music. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they only understand like a surface level.
They understand the
Um,
sounds, they don't understand the meaning.
I see. Okay, that's very enlightening. Thank you, King B, for coming on the show. Um, Everyone at home, the link to King B's new song will be in the description. Tell them again where they can find it.
My new song, "Who It Is," will be on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you can find good music.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming on the show. You can go back into the ground
Okay,
now.
yeah, see you.
See ya.